Thanks for watching News Echoes. We bring you news and analysis of African countries to the global audience. And so I'm glad you are watching. My name is Shegun Johnson, and I have in the studio our friend from Toronto, Canada, Sir George. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Johnson, and viewers around the world, welcome.
Lady in the house is Bidi Nana. Bidi, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shegu. Good morning, everyone. Our viewers, good to have you here today. Let's do it again.
Thanks so much. Mark in Milan, our brother in Milan. You're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shegu. Good morning, Sir George, Lady BD. You're all welcome to another beautiful day. Thank you for
It's a pleasure to be here. Let's start with this story of the INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu telling the whole world that the election may not hold after all. Just in case you are not in Nigeria, February 25 has been made the day of election for the presidency, and many Nigerians are looking forward to it. In fact, it has captivated Nigeria since October last year, when campaigns have been released to happen, and people have been campaigning. Presidential campaign have been taking place, but with this news that the insecurity may stop the presidential election, not that it has not been postponed before, twice in the lifetime of Atairu Jega, professor of political science, chairman INEC, he postponed it because of security alerts. Now, Mahmoud Yakubu may say, or is saying that it may be cancelled. I did not hear postponed. Sir George in Toronto, I don't know whether there's a difference you notice between postponement and cancellation. What do you say, sir?
Well, postponement means that we're shifting the election to another near date, far date away, and cancellation means that we're not holding the election again until further notice. That means that either the government continues or they might have an interim government that will come and take over. I have read somewhere where somebody was suggesting that Jonathan has been approached to be an interim president until when the election is going to be held. But I don't believe that that is a true story because one part is saying there could be a postponement of the election because of the insecurity both in the north and in the southeast, and others are saying it's not going to be cancelled, and they're trying to encourage the communities that are not to be afraid, because they're bringing in a new technology that is supposed to help them, to monitor the whole nation during the election. But that's where we stand right now, as in that.
Lady B, what do you think will be the reaction of Nigerians if it should be cancelled or even postponed?
You should be asking what is their reaction when this announcement was made. It was like Nigerians were mourning because this election is like a big hope to a lot of Nigerians. They've been hoping. It has not been easy for Nigerians, but with this coming election, they were like, let's just endure, let's just hang in there, let's just persevere. But coming out now to tell them that you might be cancelling the election, a lot of Nigerians did not take it funny. And talking about cancelling the election, where is that one coming from? I think there's something they are not telling us. INEC chairman is not telling us. Now, if you check a few weeks back, there was this claim that his life is at stake. Some people are planning to kill him. After that, there was this rumor again that Viva, some people are kicking against the Viva. Now he's coming out to tell us they might be cancelling election. I think some parties or some individuals who this Viva might not favor are actually the people who are trying to make sure that this election did not hold. So Nigeria will not take it funny. And if there's anything like that would take place, I wonder what is going to
But
happen
Billy,
in Nigeria.
I may disagree with you that Nigeria will not. Nigerians, they're generally docile. They just, it's been cancelled, let life continues. After all, there is peace. So do you think Nigerians are that active if it is
Now, let
cancelled?
me tell you, yes, I
Please
quite
tell
agree
me.
with you that Nigerians are docile people. But it has gotten to the point that a lot of Nigerians has given up hope. this election, with the stage Nigerians are today, they would have done something different. But we were like, since election is coming up, let's just hang in there and see what comes out with this election. For you to come and tell them that this election will not hold, you're not even talking about postponement, you're talking about cancelling. Do you know what that means? It means that the present administration might still be in power. God knows when. It might really ignite a lot of things in Nigeria. People might be surprised what will come out of Nigeria.
Well, I mean, you just put another dimension that could be seen as the third term agenda for for Buhari that many people may not envisage. Maki Milan, you think there could be a third term agenda from behind? Thank you, Lady Bidi.
Thank you very much. Yes, a third term agenda. We were taken aback also with the news of the cancellation, and we've been wondering what could this be. Well, there is a fear in town. People are still wondering what it is, but the chairman and the board of the Electoral Institute, that's TEI, like they call it, INEC training arm, one Professor Abdullahi Abdul Zuru, made the observation yesterday on Monday in Abuja at the validation process of some other training, security training resources and staff. So INEC have actually been crying of this wave of attack in their offices around and facilities around Nigeria. In fact, they released a spreadsheet detailing 50 attacks around 15 states: Imo, Osun, Enugu, Akwa Ibom, Ebonyi, Cross River, Abia, Anambra, Taraba, Kaduna, Borno, Bayelsa, Ondo.
So it's a geographical spread, isn't it?
Yeah, geographical spread. So now that is justifying this thing they're trying to say, that the election might be cancelled or postponed. It was two words they used there. So he's also calling on security agencies to continue to guarantee the safety of this INEC facilities. And he's calling on them to see that security arms are also put in these places. So we've been having problems prior to this time. We all know the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast and all the unknown gunmen killing in the southeast. And this whole thing adds up to the reason why they are calling for this. So, but let's still see how it plays out. It hasn't been confirmed. You can't just have a plan that has been going on for a year and all of a sudden, boom, you cancel it. So we are seeing it as probably him telling security agencies and the federal government to really put things in check so that the election can hold. Thank you, Dr.
Sir George, the state of security in Nigeria is so bad that the INEC officials have to cry out. When Buhari was campaigning in 2014/15, many people felt that he would bring in stability to the country. Boko Haram will be dissipated. Unfortunately, in the last 8 years, they have insecurity increased tremendously beyond our wild imagination. Train abduction, station abduction, closing of Kaduna Abuja road, closing of airports. We've never seen it this bad. Yet many people voted for Buhari thinking this is a general, especially one that participated in the war, the Nigerian Civil War. How come he got it also wrong in the area of security?
Well, during the past election, actually, everybody was clamoring and, fighting over the fact that they needed change and Buhari is the answer. He came out with this slogan: they're going to fight corruption and they're going to fight insecurity in Nigeria. But I call to everybody's attention. Personally, I like Buhari. Buhari is a good man, personally. But the ability to govern a nation like Nigeria, I don't believe that he had it. Because during the Idi Abu situation, we understood that Idi Abu was really the governing body, though he was the deputy, the leader, deputy leader then. But when you saw what was going on, he was really the person that was making all the noise. the person that brought about the active leadership in Nigeria that brought our nation to their knees. So I was reminding everybody about that. But the point is that, yes, indeed, Buhari is a good man. I don't think that Buhari is corrupt.
Yeah, but his machinery was very poor to attack, to handle security.
The point is you have to have the ability and
Yeah.
the backbone to govern a nation like Nigeria. You have to be very strategic. You have to go to the underground and begin to change things. Nigeria is not a nation that anybody can use their mouth to govern.
Or use their body language. You remember when he came? They would say body language.
Right. So you think about what is going on in Nigeria today. And as a matter of fact, when you talk about this postponement of the election, I mean, I can guarantee you personally, this is my own personal feeling, Buhari wants to go. He wants to go and rest. He's not the man that is seeking for another term or extension. That man wants to go and rest, whatever is left of his life. So but the point is the power that be that are causing all these problems, he's not able to handle it. So that is the main issue, that we need a man who will understand his power, who will understand diplomacy, who will understand the nature that is in Nigeria and how to be able to use those administrative skills.
Sir George, I have one more question for you before I go to BD.
Okay.
The money, the budget for the military, let's leave the police, the military. We understand that most of this money goes into the pockets of the generals, building houses all over the place, Dubai, Lagos, Abuja, Kanu, Kaduna. So is it not the money meant for ammunition, for logistics? They are getting to the pockets of the generals. I mean, we got to tackle this issue.
Yes, we have to tackle the issue because you see what is going on. Like I said before, to govern Nigeria is not an easy place. Now, because what we call corruption has been the fundamental ways of doing things in Nigeria. Now, if the person on top can talk and don't act, what are you gonna do? Absolutely. So how many days were Buhari was in the hospital for many years? We saw the nation started shifting to the right direction when Osinbajo was finally allowed to be the person who will take over for a little bit. But you know what is going on? If Osinbajo today was to come out again, or during this time, I say, okay, I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest. Let me allow the vice president to be the interim leader of Nigeria. You will see the Fulani people rise up again. Buhari is just a figurehead. And, he doesn't know what to do. The whole thing is out of his reach.
Okay, one of our viewers has written, what is his offense? I guess the viewer meant, what is the offense of Buhari? That's not the issue right now, but if any of my colleagues want to attend to it, that'll be fine. BD, anytime I came to Lagos, my host will always say, come back home quickly, come back home quickly. It's 5 p.m. You can't stay outside after 6 p.m. What's the state of security in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos, where you stay?
It's funny how people exaggerate this insecurity problem in Nigeria, more especially people who are not in Nigeria. Yeah, I know we have an insecurity problem in Nigeria, but it's not as bad as they paint it outside Nigeria. You understand? People still go around. People still have night lights. This insecurity in Nigeria is in particular areas. Like in Lagos, we have free movement. People go out. People do their normal life. It's not like... but this insecurity in Nigeria...
How about the abduction on the Lagos-Ibadan road? We've read so many times.
Yeah.
The abduction on Kaduna-Abuja road.
It has happened on every corner of Nigeria, but it's not something you see on a daily basis. Most of these adoptions are pre-planned. They plan them, they hash it. It's not just it's not something you say, they've adopted in this area, they've adopted in this area. It's a pre-planned thing, and it's happened. When you talk about insecurity in Nigeria, you talk about Northeast. It's more in the north. Now it's breeding up in the south.
Will you be comfortable? Will you be comfortable to take any of the luxurious buses from Lagos to Enugu, for example, like they normally do in those years, overnight? Will you be comfortable?
I like this question you just asked me. I was I was somewhere around the Lekki First One yesterday. I met a young man. He's a Yoruba man. He's an interior decor. It was in a fittings office. He said he came to carry like that. He's traveling to the southeast that night with the night. But I was like, with this insecurity in Nigeria, you still travel. So, madam, they leave that thing with the travel. Night bus is still the best. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of people still use night bus. They still travel. They still make use of night bus. They still make use of night bus.
All
People
this
still
insecurity.
move around. Yeah. But you know, that is why it's a problem in Nigeria. You don't even know where they are going to strike. That is it.
But that makes it more dangerous, isn't it?
Exactly. They are striking in the Benue road now. You say, Benue road is not safe. You avoid that road. Before you know it, they are striking at Ibadan or Express Road. So you don't know where they are going to strike the next time. So if Nigerian government really want to fix insecurity in Nigeria, it's going to be a total thing. It's not something they will base or focus on a particular area.
Biddy, one of our viewers just wrote in. He said insecurity is actually worse than what the media covers. Kidnapping is on the high. I can't count the number of missing students in Lagos. This is just one of our viewers, not me.
Yeah, I won't despise what he's saying. He's actually right. But you know, he's actually right. I would agree with that media are not even doing their work the way it's supposed to do it. They cover a lot of things. They don't say it the way it is. And you will not blame them. When this government took office, there was a meeting. That meeting was held in Kanu. And what was that meeting? With the media and the government. Lai Mohammed. Media was told not to report insecurity problems the way it is. And that's exactly what we're saying today. And it goes along with lies. Do you understand? Because when 10 people die and you're telling us 5 people died, you're lying. And it has become part of our society today.
Yeah, but the same people, you said it's not that bad in Lagos.
Yeah, it's not bad in Lagos.
But don't forget that 2 days ago.
The problem is
2 days ago there was problem at Ojota. Some people came out, some people were killed.
Yoruba Nation.
Yes, Yoruba Nation.
Yoruba Nation agitators, they clashed with the police and one person was killed. Like I was telling you, now you're going out today. You don't even know something is going to happen in Ojota. It's happened. Now tomorrow you said you're going to avoid Ojota. You're going to take Airport Road and it will strike there. So it is a total thing. You can't say like it's happening in the southeast, northeast more. That is where the insecurity is more in Nigeria. Now you say you will not go to the northeast because that is where it is worst. And you come to Lagos, like if you agree with me in Nigeria today, 75% of northerners are now in Lagos because they feel Lagos is more safe.
Okay, it's a thing that we'll be discussing in the weeks ahead. Maki Milan, do you agree with Biddy that we shouldn't take it too personal? I mean, yes, it's happening, but not as much as we have hyped it from diaspora.
Yes, there's something going on, and that is that there are some Nigerians that are very patriotic, but they are patriotic to a core. They don't want to address, they don't want to say some things because they feel it might give us a bad image on the world stage. But the truth of the matter is there is insecurity in the land. There's trouble in our land, and we need to address it. But I understand what BD is trying to say. But one thing media people need to understand is we need to have balance in all of this information. You see, the media, Nigerian media, yes, goes all the way out to really tarnish the image when they want to do that. And we all know how America became a great nation because some people were praising and hailing America. But when you go down the streets, it's not what you see, it's something else. So yes, we have a right to give good image. But there has to be balance, and that balance means when there's wrong going on, the media and we need to say it out.
Okay. Let me use this occasion to welcome. Wait a minute. I want to use it to welcome Dr. Ibe. Dr. Ibe will come to you in a second. Sir George, you are raising up your hand.
Thank you for having me.
We can't hear you. Unmute yourself, Sir George.
Was I?
Okay, we can hear you
Okay, now. We need to address a couple of issues, because when the viewers are asking questions, we need to address it, because they are concerned, and that means that they are listening. Now, no, the first question was,
what's his offense?
What's his offense? If you're talking about Buhari, like I said before, Buhari personally is a good man. But a good man does not mean that you are a good governor, or you have the ability to govern a particular place. You can be good in one area. You can be good personally, but that good does not translate in your ability to govern a nation. We have seen what has happened in the past 8 years. Nigeria has become worse than it's ever been. Economically, insecurity, everything has already increased. But the men and the governing body right now have no solution whatsoever, because it's getting worse and worse. As a matter of fact, a nephew of mine was kidnapped a few days ago.
Biddy, quickly.
Ransom was paid.
Yeah.
And they were not going to release him if it wasn't that there was a conflict between the kidnappers about dividing money. That's how he was able to escape out of that, because they wanted to ask for more money. So now it is bad in Nigeria all over, because you don't know where they're going to strike from.
That's the point. You don't know. Biddy, you wanted to put something quickly before I go to Dr.
I wanted to put something to what Massive Mike said. We are not trying to project our country to be the best. Why there is a problem? I'm not actually doing that. What I'm saying is this. There's actually a problem in Nigeria, but still, I'm in Nigeria. I live in Lagos. Do you understand? What I'm saying is that there's a problem. There's a problem of insecurity. Now, let me tell you. Last year, there was a kidnap. There was a kidnap in an Abuja train station. Now, the federal government did not do what they're supposed to do, and everybody started avoiding Abuja train station. Just last week, they strike at Edo train station. That's actually what I'm trying to say. There's a problem in Nigeria, but the federal government needs to do a holistic work. But what they do is that when they strike at a particular place, they focus on that place. And all this insecurity, all these terrorists, they have brain. They are intelligent men. They know how they strike. They know
they're always a step ahead of the government.
They strike here. They know that the attention of everybody will be there. So they move to another direction. So that's what I'm saying. There's a problem in the land, but we're still here.
Dr. Ebe, we're discussing state of insecurity in Nigeria, and it may affect the presidential election come 25th February. But the balance has been that some people want to balance it, that the image of the country, or we should just wash our dirty linens in the public. What part of the divide are you? Should we just wash our dirty linens in the public and let the government do something about it? Or even if we wash our dirty linens, the government is not capable enough to handle these people who are always a step ahead of them.
Once again, thanks for having me. Thank you, viewers, for tuning in. Concerning washing dirty linen in public, let me start with that. Yeah, it's a great point not to wash, great idea not to wash dirty linen in public. But when it's in your interest not to do so, you cannot be suffering, you cannot be disenfranchised, you cannot be on the losing side, and you are talking about lining. Let the lining burn if it has to burn. It has to be in the collective interest. If it's not in the collective interest, let the lining not only be dirty, but let it burn. And let it be exterminated, get a different lining. That's exactly so there has to be balance. You have to balance the interest. The Constitution provides a rules of engagement of the general public and the ruling class, and then it has to favor the general public. If it doesn't favor the general public, then the rules of engagement doesn't work. It needs to be corrected. So we shouldn't focus so much on the line, but on the people. I know I don't want to sound too religious, but I know it's not just only religious, also a common saying that this man was not made for the Sabbath, but Sabbath was made for man. The aims of laws, the aims of rules, the aims of the government is the interest of the people. If you have to change lining 5 times for the people to represent their interest, then do away with that lining. That's what I have to say concerning who's at fault for insecurity. Sir George said, it's not enough to talk only about. It's not enough to talk about personality, how good. Yes, yes. We also have to look at other things, as Sir George has pointed out. One of them is education. The second one, experience. The third one, competence. The fourth one, competition. If there's competition, let's look at the model of China, for example, that has been able to double before this recent problem with coronavirus and all of that. But they had been able to double their GDP in decades. Every decade, it's like they're doubling their GDP. And when you look at it, you say, so the people will be quick to say, oh, communism and all of that. But when you look deeply, you see that their structure of government allows for competition between regions. Regions
Yeah.
compete amongst themselves. So how can there be competence when there's nepotism, when it's a one tribe affair or a one village affair or one? So you have to not only say you hate corruption, you have to fight corruption, fight nepotism, allow competition. If there's an Igbo man, a Yoruba man, an Hausa man in one office and they don't like themselves so much, they will be trying to do the right thing and outdo the other. That is just natural.
I think we're getting it. Well, in the last 4 minutes before we go on break, massive mark in Milan. The issue of a train abduction in Edo State was very worrying. 31 people are still missing.
Yes, it's not even 31, Dr. Shago, it's 32. BBC has a figure at 32. Eyewitness said kidnappers attacked the substation. The Nigerian imagine coming to a substation somewhere in Edo, Igiben, NRC substation. And they struck because there were no security men on guard. And
But how did they cut away 32 people on notice, on disturbed?
Yes.
I mean,
anyway,
that happen?
Some people have been rescued, as we're hearing. The gunmen released 2 children as yesterday, and also take note that there were also pregnant women in that group.
Did they bring a truck to carry over 30 people? Is that what they did?
So, Dr. Shago, it's sad. Anyway, one of the pregnant women found her way. She escaped, actually. She escaped. She was able to find her way in the bush and run out. They said the men stormed the place with AK-47. They shot in the air. They entered the station there in Igiben, NRC, and they were seizing travelers, taking people, even staff of that substation. We are taking them and they pushed them into their van.
Okay. Let me ask you one quick question. Who will you put this blame on? I mean, when anybody could just enter any station and start shooting, who will you put that blame on?
We want to put the blame on the government. The government.
The government, federal, state, and local.
Yes,
state and local.
Places, yes, sir. Such places should have real fortified security. You don't come to a government.
Sir George, in 20 seconds. Sir George, in 20 seconds. We live in different parts of this world. We don't experience such all the time, but in Nigeria, it's a common thing now. I mean, and we don't see police officers all over the place. So what is the problem in Nigeria?
The problem is in Nigeria is the economy. If the economy is great, if people are able to move around easily, be able to trade and have jobs, I don't think that these educated young men that went to universities that are actually fueling this entire thing will be out there. Nigeria is a great country, but all we need is a good, active government. So the government totally is to be blamed about everything. Economy is number one.
We'll definitely be talking about security and other things in the days to come, but let's just go on a break and then we'll be back very soon. Don't go away.
be this world, changing your mindset.
When I wrote the book, The Final Solution, the Lord gave me some things in the spirit realm to see going to happen here. And that is why you need to get a copy of this book, not because of the purchase, but because of the contents. We've not spent 2 weeks. Now we have seen the problem in Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, Donetsk, Luhansk, and all the other surrounding nations, talk less of the Western countries and the Eastern countries. We want to pray that this stops where it is. Some people are even imagining a third world war. I pray that there'll be no third world war, but we need to know the solution to all of these problems, and they are well packaged in that book, The Final Solution. The amount of money is next to nothing. Go to Amazon and buy this book. Go to the Kindle, go to KDP and buy this book. It's very important. So it is in Amazon and Kindle. And of course you can purchase the paperback, but it's not about the money. It's about the contents to have solution to Ukraine, to Russia, to the West, to the East, and indeed all parts of the world. Do get a copy and let's start operating the solution of God to our time. Thanks for staying with us. It's still News Echoes bringing African affairs to a global audience. I'm so glad you're still watching. A few days ago, we had that one of the campaign council managers of the PDP presidential candidate has been arrested. I'm talking of High Chief Dokpesi. He was alleged to have been arrested and taken to custody for questioning at the airport. He was transiting in London using the German airline, and he was arrested. Eventually, it turned out that allegations of rape were made against him, but they released him on bail. I'm not sure whether he's left England or he's still in England, but Mark, you've been following this story. What exactly happened in London?
Yes, Dr. Shagun. The founder of Dark Communication. Dark Communication is a media outfit in Nigeria. Dark Communication Chief Raymond Dokpesi was allegedly arrested by the United Kingdom police. That was on, I think that was Sunday evening. Yeah, so he was arrested in Heathrow Airport in London, and a source we got said he was arrested on rape allegation. Rape allegation. Somehow, somewhere, the 71-year-old man, Dokpesi, had some issues back in August of 2019, and he then at that time he was on bail. And I think he probably didn't follow up with the case.
Was this allegation, was it in England or in Nigeria?
In England.
Oh, okay, thank you.
England, yes. But take note also, the EFCC Crime Commission in Nigeria has also dragged this same man to court and has accused him and his company of illegally receiving funds considered to be proceeds from crime from our former NSA officer advisor, that's Colonel Sabo Dasuki.
But he has been cleared of that. He has been cleared of that.
But some of these things are still rubbing on him. But now it is the rape case, and but the case has been adjourned until April April later this
Was
year.
he detained? Was his passport seized, or he's traveled back to Nigeria?
You know, when there's like this in the white man's world, your papers will be held down.
Okay, because it wasn't clear. Sir George, have you been following this?
Yes, I have been following it, and from the what was released, he wasn't arrested. He was detained for questioning.
Sorry,
Those are
sir.
two different things, you know.
Okay,
When you are
fair enough.
detained,
Fire up.
when you are questioned, and then later on cleared, then that's not an arrest, you know. So that's an inquiry. Was going into an allegation, but if the man has been picked up, arrested, charged, then that's an arrest. But he was detained. So far, it's an allegation, and we haven't gotten the full story yet, where we can comfortably talk about it and say, yes, this is it, or that is that. But there is an allegation. They allege that he had his way with a woman, you know, in 2019. So, and until the official information comes out, we can comfortably talk about that. But for now,
Is it still in England? Our viewers may want to know.
yeah, basically, I think he's still there. You know, I think he's still there unless we receive a further information. So whether his papers were released or not, we don't know.
We don't know. Bidi, tongues may be wagging in Lagos. What are they saying? Unmute yourself, please.
Yeah. People were surprised.
Go on, we can hear you now.
People were surprised. And on the other hand, people were like, I don't know how to say it, because, you know, I might tell you for free that High Chief Raymond Dokpesi, the owner of Dike Communication, AIT, that AIT in Nigeria is one of the independent media house in Nigeria. He has never had it easy with any government in Nigeria. Yes, I will tell you that. He has never had it easy with any government in Nigeria. And with what has happened, Nigeria are having a different twist to this. And it has not been proved, so I might not say it here. So people were surprised, and they told us it's a rape case, and nobody has given us the full detail of the rape case, where it happened, how it happened. So we are still in the dark. We have not gotten the full news or reason why he was detained. But they said what we had is that it's a rape case. But Nigeria are taking a different twist to why this man has been detained and cannot be proved. So that's all I have to tell here now.
Oh,
Nigerians
okay.
are surprised. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let me use the occasion to welcome Anita to the program. It's good to see you again. We've followed the challenges you've gone through in the past, and I'm sure our viewers would like to hear your voice somehow. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm very well. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy
Yeah.
New Year to have you here.
Happy New Year.
It's so good to see you again, and then to hear from your wealth of knowledge. We've missed you for a while, but I'm sure to throw you a question very soon. So just stay with us. Dr. Ibe, in Moscow, you've had, now if the federal government does not deal with our leaders when they misbehave, then the British government is helping them. James Ibori, Ekwere Madu, now Dokpesi. You think it's something masterminded from Nigeria, or it's just that these people are promiscuous and they are now answering to the various allegations?
Oh my
That's a
God.
good
Well, it's
That's a very
interesting because a very, very good question, because
That's a
there's
very
a
good
saying that, yeah, that he who lives in glass house shouldn't throw stones. Yes. So it's we know that our government is aligned with the British, maybe more aligned than not. Let me not say very aligned, but more aligned than not. And it's in the interest of international multinational companies that the next government respects old contracts and follows the rules of engagement. Sorry for repeating
Mm.
repeating that phrase, but it's the interest of of the British. I don't want to say our previous colonial masters. I'm trying to be careful not to use that,
No, you
but
have not said it. I didn't hear you
yeah, yeah,
say
yeah,
colonial masters, so
yeah. I didn't say it, but of course they're more aligned than not. So of course, in the situation where there's a threat to the 2023 election, or there's a going to be not just a heightened insecurity that affects the common man, but the heightened insecurity that affects exportation of crude oil and natural gas, then of course you're going to see definitely much more involvement. But I'm surprised that a 71-year-old man is accused of crime that he committed when he was 67. At 67, he was physically able to commit the rape, without being
well, there are
helped.
different definitions of rape in the Western world, like So,
Yes.
but we are not in a position to go
Yeah,
into
yes.
that
Yeah,
part.
I'm just saying. Of course, many people will also be wondering. Yeah, we'll be asking. There are different definitions, so it must be really, defined clearly, and considering his physical nature, his physical condition, or how he would. We haven't heard so much about this case, but
But
I
this will
understand that
affect his role in the campaign council of Atiku, who we understand is in London. We don't even know whether he's ill. Some people say he's ill at the moment, but that's a speculation. Or have
it
you been
surely
hearing
will.
anything about that?
It surely will. We've been hearing the speculations about him being ill, but the thing about Nigerians is that Nigerians will not don't pay too much attention on that. They are more interested in either short-term interest or long-term interest. And short-term interest is money now. Long-term interest is what's good for the country. There's almost no in between.
Okay, let me ask our sister who is joining us, Anita, why do we outsource things? Tinubu was here and the G5 came to meet him. Atiku is here. Dokpesi came to meet him. Why do we outsource our political discussions outside of Nigeria, especially towards Britain? If we don't talk at Chatham House, we'll be talking somewhere in private houses. What's the sense behind this outsourcing of political issues in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Wow, that's a very good one because it's been going on and on. And one thing I would say, it's just me, okay, my opinion towards that is just about the fact that they want to make a point to Nigerians that they are relevant internationally, they
Mm.
are recognized by the international bodies. I think that's one thing that makes them feel okay, you know what? We need to be in America, we need to be in London to just express ourselves, to tell the world that, okay, we're coming out. And also to assure Nigerians that we are known both home and abroad. I think that's just the point because at one point we see that make you say, okay, you know what? My PVC is what voting for you. Right
Yeah.
now, especially the person you mentioned, I'm just trying to be careful with words.
Yeah.
Okay, a whole lot has been going on. They've been using him for different comedy skits based
Yeah.
on pronunciation of words or misinterpretation of whatever it is he's saying. They've just been having this back and forth, and some persons are wondering, is this man really fit? But the point is, a whole lot of persons that you think they won't even go ahead to support this person, this candidate, they are going
Mm.
all out for the person. So when you talk about them going to, different countries to, make speeches and stuff, I just feel they just want to make a point to Nigerians that they are known both home and abroad.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
that
thought.
that is a plausible explanation. I mean, is well accepted by a person like me, but many Nigerians may still wonder, why do American politicians not come to Nigeria to come and discuss their own issues. Sir George, I mean, Dokpesi would not have been in this problem if Atiku was in Lagos or Abuja, and this is the kind of issue we're talking about.
One, Atiku is denying that he's sick, or he's not even actually denying, because that's the news is coming from the left and then coming from the right. So we don't know the reason why he left Dubai and went to London. So it could be health related. But one of the things that they want to do is when they are in these places, they want to showcase their, their strength, their ability to still be able to govern by bringing the people over and discussing issues of politics, so that it will not seem as if they are just dormant, they are irrelevant. So to me, I don't even know why they're doing all these things, but it just doesn't make any sense to me at all. We have to go down the country and fight.
Dr. Shegun.
Yeah, go on.
Dr. Shegun.
Go on.
See, why Nigerians, or let me say Africans, run to Western world in spite of everything, it's just what I call complex thing, because we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe, yes, we don't believe in ourselves, we don't believe in who we are, we don't believe that we can actually solve our problem. We are always looking for people who are not looking for us. I like the statement you made. How many times have UK, British, America, or France come to Nigeria to hold their political meeting? You see Nigerians doing their states or cultural events. They'll take it abroad, and I'll be wondering, what is this all about? It shows that we are empty. We don't believe in ourselves. And that's why the Western world don't take us serious. Yes,
okay. I mean, is a mentality that I'm not sure the younger ones will buy into it at all. Of all the three, Peter Obi, Atiku, all of them, Tinubu, rush into Chatham House, and they're laughing at them. They're really laughing at them. I can tell you that for sure. Dr. Ibe, Orji Kalu said if they release Nnamdi Kanu to him, he will bail him out. He will make sure he will pay for his surety. Now, here we go again. Is something happening behind the scene we need to know?
Honestly, I'm not aware of that. I see that as just statement. If any other panelists is aware, maybe you could reveal it.
Yeah, Maki Milan should be aware of that.
Yes.
Are they about to release him and they are trying to water the ground? Or, is that what they're saying?
I think the Easterners are really becoming very agitated with this whole Nnamdi Kanu thing. Yesterday, the chief whip, he's the chief whip of the Senate. That's Orji, who's a Kalu, and he was one time Abia State governor. He said he's ready to stand as surety for Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. He said he's ready to stand as a surety if he's released from custody. He spoke this loud and clear in a TV program in Lagos yesterday. He said he would also either keep him in his own home in Abuja or keeping him in his other house in Abia, where he counsels, where he has more power. And he said he will do all of this because the man is his brother.
The little I know about politicians everywhere is that when they want something to happen,
let me say this. Take note that some time ago, similar thing happened, and somebody stood as surety for Nnamdi Kanu. But Nnamdi Kanu jumped bail. That was in 2010.
And legitimately so. They said only a tree will stand when they want to cut it. That human beings are not trees.
Yes. So Aberi Bey, the senator representing Nnamdi Kanu's state, did that for him some years ago. After some months, he was there. Boom, he jumped bail. And now this has happened. And this is happening because he had some case to answer. The appellate court, like they call it in Nigeria, they've been holding the man since they brought him from Kenya, but he's been released. There are charges against him. Yes, has been.
Or rather, he's been discharged. He's not released.
Sorry, he's been discharged, and but the case still remains. So That's what's
let me ask George in Toronto, Sir George. When the politicians want to get something done, they throw a kite. Is this not a kite that Orji Kalu is throwing to the community?
Well, that's what he's trying to do. Personally, I believe that it's just a political stunt that he's trying to do. The point is that the government does not want to release Nnamdi Kanu until after the election. And Nnamdi Kanu is still alive today because he's a British citizen. If he was not, possibly something would have happened to him. So he's a thorn in the flesh, and he's been a thorn in the flesh to the government. So, so the point is, yeah, he's coming out to make these comments and make these statements. He himself is not a clean man, if you ask me. You know,
he's very close to the presidency. Let's just put it that way.
Well, yeah, that's the only relevance.
So when you hear it from someone who is close to the president, and I mean President Buhari is close to the president. So when you hear something like that, you'll be thinking something is behind it, isn't it?
Well, it could be because negotiation has been happening for the longest, and for them to want to bring him out, I think strategically, it would be they have to weigh a whole lot of options because the man is powerful, and the man can say one word, and the whole entire Southeast will, upload. So, and that's one of the things that I believe that they are still trying to weigh before they release him. It's not like they have anything against him per se, like but that's the only thing there. But I believe that the delay is simply, a diplomatic and political delay. Not that they can release him tomorrow, but is he going to adhere to the conditions that they're giving to him? So that's the only thing.
Thank you, sir. Anita, I know you are close to the politicians, and what's the political atmosphere concerning the release of Kanu? You think something is going on brewing somewhere, especially with this presidential election? I know you are close within the corridor of power. So tell us more.
Okay. Concerning Nnamdi Kanu right now, there's so much going on. Some persons are saying they are scared if he's released. Probably there's going to be more records of violence because we've even recorded so much in, the eastern part of Nigeria as touching, people protesting for his release, going all out, doing all sorts. So some persons are saying it's not such a welcoming idea to release him right now. And some persons are saying probably if he's released, maybe he'll make a better decision for them, that's for the people in the eastern part of Nigeria. So there's so much, going on in that area. And Kanu coming up to say he can stand in for him. It's one thing to say you can stand in for him. Can you really stand in? This is somebody who has the support of his people. If he decides to make a drastic, decision, are you sure you can still hold on? So many questions are being asked in that regard, sir.
So this guy is volatile. It's not something you can just embrace like that. Well, let's go to the last story of today, which is corruption being eradicated in Nigeria. The immigration agency said they have demoted 14 officers and penalized 22 others. Mark in Milan, you have this story.
Yes, Dr. Shagun. Immigration says they demote 14 officers, penalize 22 of them. This was said yesterday in Abuja. And they also said 4 were dismissed completely. The man saying this is the INS spokesman. That's Nigerian Immigration Service spokesman, Tony Akueme.
All right, thank you. I think we get a picture now. Sir George, you think this is the beginning of corruption eradication in Nigeria?
Corruption eradication is 80 years old. And has done absolutely nothing. It's gotten worse. I mean, what is happening, what you see here is every now and again, fingers are pointed in one area, and the place gets hot, and you have to do something about it. I mean, when you get rid of him right now, this thing has been going on for the past how many years? So it's not something that is new. It just maybe, you know, something that came up and needs to be addressed, and then we have to do that. So yes.
Let me ask Godwin in Moscow. They have a stricter discipline in Russia. You think finally Nigeria is cracking corruption, Godwin?
As I like to quote Sir George again. The corruption in Nigeria is an 8-year-old, unweaned, uncircumcised, breast-sucking infant. So it's that bad. It should have been unweaned of you know, the whole breast milk of the efforts of eradicating corruption. All these finger points are not what we eradicate. These are just statistics, but they affect livelihoods of a few people, especially those who are dismissed. Might be difficult to find a new job, or they might be moved somewhere else if those stealings were done on the behest of the head. They'll just be moved somewhere, another region, another job, and we have seen that before. So there's nothing to. Yeah, life goes on.
I'm just mindful of the time. I want to ask everyone, Biddy, you think finally we are cracking it, isn't it?
Cracking anything. We're not. We're not ready.
We have not scratched it. Are you saying we have not scratched it?
We've not even started. The immigration that is coming out to say they've demoted 14 people and punished 9 people, they are just joking. This immigration has been accused in several ways. What do? They come in the televisions to tell us a different story, or to even justify the actions of their staff and the officers. We have not started. The kind of corruption and immigration in Nigeria, my dear, Sir George is saying 8 years. The 8 years is the refined way of the corruption in immigration in Nigeria. They are just making a lip service. Even the immigration, the DG that said it, they are just playing. If they want to fight corruption.
I just want our viewers to hear everybody. Anita, in 10 seconds, you think we've started cracking it? I mean, this is a good direction, isn't it?
My own angle is a bit different, because every sector is corrupt, and what's going on, I think they just want to be relevant on the news. That's it.
Okay, in 10 seconds, Anita, what will you be telling Nigerians about the February 25 election? 10 seconds.
Okay. Firstly, if you've not received or collected your voters card, that is the PVC, it's very important. You go grab it now, okay? Because your voice comes from that PVC. Without the PVC, you can't vote your choice.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Bidi, how about you? 10 seconds.
Enough of saying that our votes don't count. Our votes actually count. And that vote will count. If you have your PVC and you come out that day, vote and you monitor and watch your vote.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Ibe, in 10 seconds, what will you be telling Nigerians?
Get your PVC, vote, and I also like to talk to the party campaign officers and all of that. Please let your message be heard more. We know not all parties are spending the same on promotion. There's
all right, Maki Milan, what have you to say in 10 seconds? We can't hear you.
Yes, this is it for us Nigerians.
Okay, this is it for us Nigerians. That's Sir George. You are the last but not the least.
I will say once again, this is a make or break in Nigeria. Go out there, let your voice be counted, and watch over your vote to make sure that it is relevant and it is counted. That's all.
Thank you very much. That makes a unanimity of 6 of us. Go out there, make your vote count. No excuse. And that's how far we'll go today. I want to thank my colleagues all the way from Moscow, Russia, Toronto, Canada, Lagos, Taraba, Maki, Milan, and all the crew.